Well, our minimum level changed every round. And in fact, which is very encouraging. Every round we have a new group of young sires or young bulls on the farms getting genomic results, our average increase, so that's a good sign. And basically, as we have a regular flow of young bulls being tested every round, we're not necessarily have minimum levels. We'll just start from the top and select how many we need. But right now, a rough idea, last round we were around 2,000 TPI. Not quite, well, depending on the sire as well. I mean, if you get your planet sons, you might need to be a little higher than that, because there's so many that are higher than that. So, but we do have somewhat of an idea of a threshold we want to achieve, but it changes every round. As a matter of difference between parent average and with the genomic TPI or ABV or PTA, yes, it is important. In Canada, we have something called direct genomic, and we see the direct genomic value, and that's the direct performance of the genomic of the animal. And we do look at that. I mean, if animal genomic evaluation is much below parent average, obviously, for direct genomic has been was fairly low. So that's really comes into fact for sure.
Jason?
When, first of all, I'd like to comment, Donna did rewrite this, and I had said something worse than this when I wrote it down. But I've never been a fan as a breeder of minimum standards, and I realize these guys on the inside of me have to look at that because they look a fool and it's all competition. But for me, I've always, I guess it's the breeder part of me, I've never looked at it that way. And if I look at the numbers of the animals I've tested, I like them. You know, I feel comfortable with they're within 5% as a breeder of what they were predicted at. I feel like and realizing that those genes can sort out, it can be farther away than that. And of course, but I think that the interesting thing of our testing has been that the biggest increase on GTPI that I've had was a bull, and his full brother was the biggest decrease I've had. So that can show you the randomness of some of this and what can happen. When we buy females, and we still once in a while purchase a female, I would say that as a breeder, I still look at the maternal line first, and the sire stack, and then the GTPI in that order. And the other thing about the sire stack is, in purchasing females, I'm always trying to think about what I can breed them to. And so consequently, that has a lot to do with where I'm headed, because I think about what bulls I had to use back on the female I'm buying. But that would be what I would look at.
Not really anything to add to these two's comments, except for the fact that it does become very pedigree-minded as far as what these minimums need to be, much as Julian has said, and becoming maybe even more so today than in the past, because of the value that we place on that now genomic PA instead of traditional PA. And as far as, do we value animals that are that have a larger spread between their GPA and their traditional PA? Actually, I think we do, and that's these animals that in the past were under-evaluated by their traditional system, but now have genomic testing shows that their genetic value is higher than we actually thought it was. Those are the animals that always in the past, if Julie and I would stop in your operations, we'd have a list of animals that we'd have prior to even coming that we'd need to see, but there was always a cow or two in your operation that you can't understand why it isn't on that paper. Well, after that animal's been genomically tested and she does become an animal that's on that piece of paper, those are the animals that Julie and I think are more interested in than we have been in the past. And that's the beauty of what the system has been in place.
Thanks.